Morning, I'm down on the Castlereagh road. I'm just outside Orangefield Presbyterian Church, the church with a cafe at the side. Our cafe. Call in. Anyway, I'm down here and I'm going to interview my good friend Chris. So let's get going. Chris, you've been associated with Orangefield Presbyterian Church for 20 years?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And you've been a caretaker at this church for the last 10 or so years, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Mid-60s, you'd think any normal person would be thinking in terms of, winding down, taking things a wee bit easier. But tell us where you were 2 weeks ago.
I was in Senegal. It's in West Africa, and it's French West Africa.
Right. So on the map, we've got Northern Ireland, little Northern Ireland up here. So you flew from Northern Ireland, Belfast, Dublin, and you landed up at Lisbon in Portugal, and then you took another flight down to Senegal, down here. It's on the west coast of Africa. It's a country, 16 million, 15 million or so, and it's about the size of the entire UK. Not quite, but almost. It's populated mostly by Muslim people, 95% Muslim, and there are various tribes. There's multiple tribes making up the country. 40% of the people live in the countryside, and the rest of them live in the main city areas. And the main city, of course, is Dakar. And most people would have heard of the Paris to Dakar rally. Senegal associated with Portugal, and also associated with France, Chris.
Yes, and also associated with the slave trade.
Tell us about the challenge of the climate.
Climate is very challenging everywhere especially in Africa. This part of Africa is particularly challenging.
You're down near the equator there.
It's so hot, and humidity. If you want to really know what Senegal's like, go to the Ulster Museum, go to the inner sanctum
of the tropical
ravine. Right. Lovely place to go. You'll see all the plants we see in Senegal, and jump up and down it 5 times, and then you'll know how hot it is in Senegal, because we were working in degrees of 38 degrees.
38?
Yes, 38 degrees.
Oh my goodness.
Extremely hot. Sometimes we take the afternoon off. And
for a siesta?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just had to.
You had to.
And humidity's bad too.
Humidity. Sometimes I had to stick my head in the freezer compartment, because it was hot. Yeah. And we drink plenty of fluids. So, Chris, let me get this straight. You are 67. You've left Northern Ireland, and you've landed up in Senegal, and you were there for what? 2 weeks.
2 weeks. You were there with a group of how many other guys?
Four
other guys, and you were there with an organisation called
LIFT.
LIFT, standing for
Labour in Faith and Trust.
Okay.
LIFT was started 10 years ago by a guy called Gary Moore and John Pearce, and they wanted to help missionaries to do missionaries who needed projects done, buildings painted. They needed a workforce, a quality workforce they could rely on. Places like India, places like Poland, Uganda, Senegal, and Niger, South Africa, and we've projects all over the Middle East, even in Jordan and in Israel. These are all countries we have visited with our project.
And what kind of things, very simply, what kind of things would you be doing with this LIFT programme? I mean, what can 4 guys for a fortnight, managed to achieve?
We completely renovated a missionaries building and painted it and put in new flooring. Lift is paid for by the people who participate in lift. It's not a handout to anybody, though we get support from churches and house groups. And
so you have to raise your own finances?
Oh yes.
And what kind of money are we talking about here?
Well, we're talking about, to Africa, it's over £1,000.
So that's for the 2 weeks, that's your flights and all the rest
yes,
of it?
Yes, and help
accommodation. What was it that, brought you to Senegal? I mean, why are you doing this? I mean, what about going and lying on the beach at Tenerife? Is this, would you call this your sort of hobby?
I would say so. I've been doing it for 12 years. I've been on 12 projects. Every one is a challenge. Every one is, I haven't been perfect, but we've certainly go away with the fact that we've made a difference to missionaries' lives. We've been able to do things that we would never do here, like speak. Most of us aren't educated. We're not really educated, like degrees or ministers, but we are just honest to goodness, ordinary Christians who love to help other people and see other cultures and see what Christ is doing with other cultures, and it's incredible. I can't express how much I appreciate Lift and all it's done. The opportunity for an ordinary person in the pews, an ordinary person in church, can go across and use his hands to help others. I think that's quite admirable.
So this is you in India, Chris?
Yeah.
This is one of your many ports of call.
2013.
2013. So where else have we got represented?
This is me in
there's you.
In Poland.
In Poland?
I was there 3 times.
With the lawnmower?
All these lovely Christian people in Poland.
Right, okay.
And this is Senegal. This is
the flag.
Serbia.
This is the flag
of Serbia.
You were in Serbia?
Yes.
Right, okay.
And this is Senegal.
Senegal again. My goodness gracious. You're some operator, Chris. Whenever I think of Africa, I think of insects and heat and dodgy water and disease. That's what I think about Africa and being bitten by some snake or other. So what would you say to try and persuade me to come to Africa?
Very challenging.
Right.
If you're up for a challenge, Africa's the place.
Right.
You only get stung once. Once you get stung, your body antibodies provide protection for you.
Right.
But you're well looked after. You have to have yellow fever when you go there and anywhere in Africa.
Mm-hmm. That's the injection for against
yellow fever.
Right.
And generally speaking, the water is good. People are good. The food is great.
What kind of food are you talking about?
Well, we had French food because it's a French colony.
To be a member of this Lift programme, you don't have to be a member of the Dad's Army group, which you 4 guys were, because you're all over 60. You don't have to be male and you don't have to be a Dad's Army. You can be a young person and you can be, it's open to women.
Certainly.
But without being sexist, Chris, what can women do?
Women can do an awful lot.
My goodness.
They can paint, they can encourage, they can talk to the children, and they can paint. And a lot of women we bring out are artists, can do lovely portraits on children's walls.
So the inside of the likes of a school, there would be murals and stuff like that.
But basically paint, and as this girl here, she's lifting bricks. So
well, good for her.
50 women, and we've had also a GB girls. A GB company has went out to Africa and helped out in a children's mission.
Okay.
In Tanzania and in other places.
So it's open to anybody over, what, 21?
18 to 75.
18 to 75, and you're looking for folks to volunteer?
Yeah, to volunteer, yeah. and they raise their own finance to get out, but and they have to muck in with the team.
Right. I hope this wee video has been an eye opener to some people who think that whenever you are over 60, or indeed over 65, that you're coming to the end of the road. You're planning for next year, and you're planning for the year afterwards.
Probably till you're 75, when we can't go out anymore.
And if anybody watching this video is interested, this is the address down here, 170 Ballysillan Road, Belfast, BT 14 7QR, and there's a telephone there as well, and there's an email address there. So if you are interested in one of these work trips for Lift, and think about it, that is the address to contact. Okay, or you can come along to young Chris here at Orangefield, and you can get hold of him by the scruff of the neck and say, "Young Chris, tell me about Lift and where I could possibly go." Thank you very much, Chris. Okay, good man.